truly, it's a purpose that I'm fulfilling. And what makes me happy is that the same people who, when I was growing up, used to think that my family members are living in a jungle are now like, oh, can you give me some information? I want to come to Ghana and see what it's like. So the mindset change for me has been worth it. Yeah, because the peace of mind sometimes with things. I think Black Africans who live in Black African countries don't understand racism because you haven't had to deal with it. You come here and you're not thinking about being Black all the time. Nigerians are the #2 group of people who come to Ghana, travelers. From anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Nigerians are number 2.
There are lots of Nigerians here.
Nigerians are number 2. We love you.
Included.
We love you. I love Nigerians. I love Nigerians.
So we can start. So hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's video. Today we are still on the whole YouTube Creators Festival Day 1. We're somewhere in Avery. I think we're in Avery, Eastern region. Yeah. And I'm sitting with Ivy. She's also a content creator. Ivy, right?
Yes, Ivy Prosper.
Ivy Prosper on YouTube. So you see her channel on the screen. You can check her channel out. She's going to tell us a bit about herself, and we'll get to know the kind of content she makes and about life here in Ghana also. And December in Ghana, we go, who don't want to know about December in Ghana? But December in Ghana usually is when the fun starts. So it's just going to be like a conversational video. We're just going to be, sharing ideas. So if this is your first time on the channel, you just see my face for the first time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let's go. So Ivy, nice to meet you.
You as well.
So can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, you introduced me already. I'm Ivy Prosper. I am, from my accent, people often think I'm American. Ghanaians and Africans generally think American, but I grew up in Canada. I am Ghanaian. I was born in Ghana, but my parents took me abroad when I was a kid. So I grew up in Canada. I live in Ghana now. And so I'm a create content about Africa, the African diaspora, connecting between Ghana and the diaspora. I also eventually will start traveling to other countries as well. And I'm also the social media manager for Ghana's Year of Return and Beyond the Return campaign. So I'm the woman behind all of the digital marketing that was being done for that campaign. I go to a lot of events, capture content and post it on the pages. And it's been quite a journey and quite an experience seeing all the people come to Ghana for the last few years, because I've been doing it since 2019. Yeah. Yes. So I've been doing it since 2019, and it's been a really great experience. Now we're going to be just around the corner to December now, and I know that there's lots of people who are coming again. So it'll be an interesting time because there'll be even more people than ever before.
Yeah. So when did you move back to Ghana, and what was the idea behind moving back?
I moved back actually. Initially, I came in 2011, but it wasn't meant to be a move at the time. 2011. Yeah, I was visiting, but then I got a job, so I stayed. So I got a job working at a school, and then through networking, I got a job hosting a TV show. So from 2011, 12, 13, I was in Ghana. And then when my contract had finished, I went back to Canada. And then in 2016, I made the decision to move back. So 2015, I came to visit to see, do I really want to stay? Then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come. And so 2016 was it. I packed my bags, I got rid of things and put some things in storage, and then I moved to Ghana.
As in, when you were growing up, did you always know you were going to move back to Ghana someday, or you just it was like an impromptu decision?
No, I wasn't one of those people who would always thought about Ghana. I actually was trying to go to New York City. That was my dream, like New York. Because I used to model and I did fashion, so New York was like the spot. Yeah. And so it was, I would say that the time I spent between 2011 to 2013 made a big impact on me. I also was in a relationship with somebody who I was planning to build a life with in Ghana. Yeah. So, but we ended up breaking up. But in any case, I still had the impact of Ghana on me, and just felt like there was this passion behind being on the continent of Africa. And now I really feel that my purpose is in changing the narrative of Africa through content creation, through media, through sharing stories. and through trying to have an impact in other people's lives through conversations.
So what was it like moving back? Was it very difficult transitioning from life over there to life here in Ghana?
Yeah.
Because I know there are people that move back from the Western world. There's usually a process, there's some things to find. So what was like the process of moving back, difficulties encountered, the difference between life here and life there to you?
I mean, it's difficult. It's not easy. It's definitely difficult because there are systems in place in North American society that make living a little bit easier, less challenging in some ways.
Yeah.
So, for example, because of the road network being done well over there, it makes traveling from point A to
Very
point B much
easy.
easier.
Yeah.
You're not dealing with rough roads everywhere. You may have some areas that are not developed that are in like completely rural communities that like hardly anybody lives in, but it's still not as bad as some of the roads that are here. And access to water in some places in Ghana is not great also. And over there in Canada has lots of water. Canada has water, and there's studies that show that Canadians are some of the people who waste the most water just because it's there. Because you always
lots of
you turn on the pipe,
water
it's always there. There's always water, so you're never thinking, oh, conserve my water, whereas here you're always thinking just a bucket full of water that you're using for something, and you're being more conscious and aware. Yeah.
When there's the water will come up, because what Ghana
Some places turn it off. Yeah, where I live, sometimes they turn the water off, and I get so upset, and so some of those things, and even things like, I remember going to the post office to mail something, and it was such a process. It was like, I go and the person's like, oh, please, madam, have a seat. And I'm like, have a seat for what? There's nobody in line, there's nobody here. You have a seat and you're waiting, and then finally they call you to come, you go, and then you go to this person, oh, I'm not the one who weighs the package. Go over there. You're like, really? Then you have to go over there and then weigh the package, and they're like, oh, please have a seat, go here. And you're just like, something that should have taken 5 minutes ends up taking
hours,
30 minutes or an hour. And even going to the bank takes so long. So there's some things that can frustrate people, that when you're used to something just moving quickly, and people are always late in Ghana. People are always late.
Ghana
always
time.
late. Always late. Always late. And I think that culturally, I mean, it's accepted, and I see this. Black people are late. Whether they're from Ghana, Jamaica,
anywhere.
Trinidad, it's embedded in the DNA or something. But Ghanaians, it's like next level with Ghanaians. I'm telling you, I'm sorry if I'm offending any Ghanaians here, but it's next level. It's next level.
No, we all know we operate at one time here.
So I've learned that there's some people I know who are extremely late, and then I have to give them a different time. So if I want someone somewhere at 10, I'll tell them 8.
Okay.
8. Look at this YouTube creators. We were supposed to set off at 7 a.m. But we didn't set off until almost 10.
Almost 10, yeah, that was like
almost 10, because we're waiting for people, So I'm used to a society like in North America where they tell you a time, and like this bus, like a bus.
Yeah.
If people weren't there at 7, the bus would leave you. The bus will leave you because you weren't there on time, and they'll say, "Too bad, we told you 7, you didn't make it." Even when I was on my way, and I got stuck in traffic on the motorway, and I sent Barima a message to say, "Hey, it's 6:55. I'm stuck on the motorway. All of a sudden, I'm gonna be late. So I said, if you need to leave, leave me." I said it. Because I have that mindset still. So I said, if you need to leave, please leave me. And he didn't respond, and just said, oh, we'll be in the parking lot. And then I was like, okay, that sounds like they're not ready. And then when I get there, and there was only like maybe 6 people or 7 people who were there, I was like,
I think a lot of people actually turned up late, me included. But it wasn't my fault also, though. It was Blue's fault. But we're not going to talk about that now.
So time, that's another thing that's challenging.
Time.
So there's a few things here and there that are challenging, but there are some things that really make it
worth it.
Yeah, because the peace of mind sometimes with things. I think Black Africans who live in Black African countries don't understand racism because you haven't had to deal with it. And sometimes the racism you deal with outside Africa, well, I shouldn't say all of Africa, because people do deal it in, like South Africa has had a really extreme experience historically, but you come here and you're not thinking about being black all the time. You're not thinking that person's
I don't. We don't like call ourselves as being black. Is either you're Ghanaian or you're Ewe or you're this one.
Yeah.
Not like we're not known by the color of our
Yeah.
skin. So you're not black here. You're not
Right.
African here.
Yeah, so that's what a lot of people really like, is that they don't have to think about it, and it's a peace of mind.
So what's your favorite thing about your move right now? You've been here for about 6 years or so now?
Yeah, what's my favorite thing about
What's
it?
like your favorite part of the whole move? Because you've just told us about some of the challenges you faced.
Yeah.
So anything that has or dance should have the upside.
I like the impact that I've made. I really like that. Truly, it's a purpose that I'm fulfilling. And what makes me happy is that the same people who, when I was growing up, used to think that my family members are living in a jungle are now like, oh, can you give me some information? I want to come to Ghana and see what it's like. So the mindset change for me has been worth it. It's been one of the things that I love, is being able to show people different aspects of being in an African country. And it's not all people dying and people having disease and conflict, because that's what media over there shows.
Yeah, that's what
that's what a lot of people believe.
Africa.
You know, and they see it all as one. Right? Like, I was in the northern Ghana once, and someone sent me a text message from Canada saying, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Okay for what? What happened?" They were
Ghana
like,
is one of the safest countries in the world.
well, the person said that there's some kind of military thing happening and people are being killed and there's an overthrow. And I was like, there's not. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing like that happening in Ghana. I said, which country? And she was like, oh, but it's in Africa. And I was like, which country? And then they found out I think it was Mali at the time, when that was some stuff going on there. And I was like, I'm in Ghana, you know? So trying to get people to understand that it's not a monolith. It's not all one place. There's different cultures, different countries, different languages. So I love some of the friendships that I've made, people I've become friends with. And one of the things I love with my job, with working with tourism, Ghana tourism, having the opportunity to meet a lot of people. I've met a lot of people that I may not have ever met if I was still in Canada. You know, I've met a lot of people, and they're really down to earth people. Even some celebrities you think might not be, and they're really down to earth people. So it's been overall a great experience.
So what was the idea behind the year of return and the motivation behind it? How it all started?
Oh, you don't know, madam?
No, you're telling us.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're telling us. She's telling us, because I feel like a lot of people do not.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand it. There's a lot of people who don't understand it. So I'm not coming down on you for asking that question, but there's a lot of people who didn't understand what year of return was. They thought it was just about parties. So year of return, it was the whole of 2019, from beginning January until end of December, and it was commemorating the 400-year anniversary of the first documented ship of enslaved Africans to be taken to the U.S. in Virginia. And so marking that 400-year anniversary, Ghana recognized that they had the most slave forts on the west coast of Africa, and that, it's sort of like an atonement, connecting with the diaspora to come and see the history, and then outside of the history, experience the country.
Learn about their roots also, because I feel like all Black Americans, all African Americans, African Canadians, the rest of them, they all have roots from in Africa.
In Africa.
So a lot of them, it's just partly for them to come and learn about their roots.
Yeah, so some of them want to come and learn about that, the ancestry, because not all of them are from Ghana, but a lot of them from Western African countries, and it happened to be a lot of them were chatteled through Ghana. But yeah, a lot of them want to come and see Africa. Some of them want to see for themselves also, because they've seen one narrative and then they want to see for themselves. And because of the history of the transatlantic slave trade, some of them want to go to the forts and see where their ancestors may have been held. And so it's a very emotional journey. And most of them, once they go through that part and they start to look at other parts of the country and want to learn more about the culture and claiming who they are. So a lot of people who came, and it was a call that started off with African Americans, but eventually it was for everyone who was of African descent. So a lot of people from the Caribbean also came. There were people from Canada who came. So it's like people who are from the heritage of the transatlantic slave trade. A lot of them wanted to come. South Americans also came, Caribbean, South Americans. And what we found was the domino effect was Africans also wanted to come.
Yeah.
So not just people who were descendants of Africa, but Africans who, moved to the States, and now they're like, hey, people are coming to Ghana.
Let's go and see what's happening there now.
And interestingly, so the number one group of people who come are Americans come to Ghana. Number two, do you know who the number two group of people is?
British. I think a lot of people came from UK, and I think
Nigerians.
Okay, returning.
Nigerians are the number two group of people who come to Ghana, travelers.
From
anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Nigerians are number two.
Lots of Nigerians here.
Nigerians are number two. We love you.
Included.
We love you. I love Nigerians. I love the.
Have you been to Nigeria?
I've not been yet. I want to go. I haven't been yet. But I love the spirit of Nigerians. How they have this. What's the word I'm looking for? They're like hustlers. Like hustle. Gotta get this done. I gotta, I want to have my business go here. I want to escalate here. I want to do that. So I admire that.
Nigeria is a very competitive society.
Yeah.
Because there are lots of people there.
Yes.
So if you're not always on top of your game, they can easily.
Bring you down,
you're always like we're trying to. Because there are like 200 million plus people there. So you have to be at your best always to make sure you're doing something.
Yeah.
When people say, "Oh, Nigerians and the hustle spirit," and sometimes that hustle spirit can come off as us being overly aggressive about anything.
That's why they make it when they leave.
We have an idea. We're just like working towards that, and this whole. Okay, let's not go there anyway because you've not visited Nigeria. Maybe by the time you visit Nigeria, then you have more idea about
Nigeria. I will.
And some of the things. So let's come back to Ghana now and some of the Ghanaian food you've been having. Do you have like a favorite?
I grew up eating Ghanaian food. So
you're Ghanaian. Over there, you grew up eating Ghana food also because you left very early.
Yeah,
I think
people think that there's not Ghanaian food there. In Canada, in America, you can get any food you want.
Really?
As long as you go to the store that sells it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So my mom made Ghanaian food. My favorite, I like contomere. I like red with the beans. For those who don't know red, the beans with the plantain. Yeah, that's one of my favorites as well. Kelewele. I like the Nkantipwang, the peanut soup. I'm not big on. I don't like banku kenke. I don't like.
I do feel like banku is kind of an acquired taste.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
So
my dad used to eat all the time. He would have his kenke and fish all the time. Wasn't me. So
it's a bit sour. So
it's sour. Yeah, I don't like it.
I just focus on jollof, wache.
Yeah, I love wache. Yeah, I like all kinds of Ghanaian food.
Yeah. So do you like? Are you planning on living here forever, or you planning?
I don't have an answer to that question when people ask if you plan on living somewhere forever, because I believe that you don't know what will happen.
Take you
anywhere. Yes, I was on the bus right now just saying, should I go to Kenya and find a Kenyan husband?
I think you should find a Ghanaian one. You're in Ghana now, just so you bring your
oh my gosh, I've dated Ghanaian guys. There was somebody who really had my heart, and unfortunately it didn't work out. So I don't know. I'm single.
So what's dating like here? You've not dated someone else, just one?
No, I have dated. Like I was in a serious relationship with somebody for a few years, and but since then I have dated people, but there hasn't been anybody that really capture me. Like when I say dated, I don't mean something serious.
No,
it was like
usually is like when you
go out to dinner, you go out to dinner here, go out to dinner there, and meet this person.
In Africa, when people say date, it means you were in a relationship.
Oh no. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. Yeah, no. When I say that, no.
Yeah, I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm just trying to make it clear to them.
Yeah, no.
Just because we believe when someone say, "Oh, I was dating this one," it means you were in a relationship.
Yeah, and that's the thing that's so different because abroad, when people are saying they're dating, it just means that they're talking to people and getting to know people. You go on a date and then you're like, no. Then you find someone else go on a date. No. That's what I mean when I'm saying that. I'm not saying that I'm in multiple relationships with people. So like I'll go on one date, and if I can see that there's something I don't like, I'm done. I'm not wasting my time.
No time to like start going on this. You don't like this person, or you're not feeling the vibe.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with the vibe. So what's your advice for? Because there are a lot of diaspora still wanting to move back to Africa. Ghana. So what's the advice?
Have some patience. My advice that I give, because I wrote a book called Your Essential Guide on Moving to Ghana. It's on Amazon, and in that book I say that people should take some time to spend in the country before they
visit first.
Visit first. If you can. Some people can't afford to, but visit first and then make the decision if you think you could actually make a move, because just making the move is hard to just up and move, which we see some people on YouTube, then they complain and they hate it and they say,
I think when the euphoria dies down, because immediately you come in, there is this, I'm doing that, eventually dies down.
Yeah, so it's good to come and spend some time before you make the decision. Have a huge budget, because I tell people you should have at least like 6 months to a year living expenses, because in Ghana they ask for you, they ask like for a year up front in rent in a lot of places, whereas in Canada and the US they only ask you for 2 months.
For 2 months?
That's it. First and last month. 2 months is all they ask for.
That's it. Pay a year or 2 years.
Yeah, no, they ask you for first month, last month, so 2 months in advance, and that's it in Canada and the US, and then you pay monthly.
Wow.
So people aren't used to coming here, and then all of a sudden someone's saying a whole year. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's it.
So you work with Ghana Tours?
Ghana Tourism Authority.
Ghana Tourism Authority. Do you organize tours for people?
I don't.
You can put the link to that.
With Ghana Tourism Authority, we don't organize tours for people. They are in charge of, a lot of regulating of tourism. Yeah, we are in charge of a lot of regulating tourism. And then I work under the Beyond the Return, Year of Return branch. So I'm focused more on that initiative of connecting with the diaspora. But we don't specifically organize tours for people. They usually have tours they've already organized and they connect with us, and we may go with them and help with logistics and stuff like that. But I do some. I collaborate with Location Accra. It's a travel and tourism company, and if people book through Location Accra, they can get a discount when they use my name, I Prosper. LocationAccra.com. Yeah, Location Accra is the Instagram.
LocationAccra.com. There's a website also you can go.
LocationAccra.com.
So I will have all the details in the description. So you go there and they'll be on the screen also.
Yeah, and you get a
in case they are trying to come to Ghana for December. So December in Ghana, what are some of the things you're planning to do in December? Because December in Ghana,
there's over 100 events.
So there are lots of events. Are you planning on going to the chat?
I have to. I'm working.
Okay.
I don't have a choice. I'm like, I have to. I'm working.
What kind of content do you create?
I create the content for the social media.
You don't have like a personal. I
do have a personal page. Yeah, I have a personal page.
Personal page.
Yes, my personal page is Ivy Prosper. However, because I'm working for Ghana Tourism Authority, it makes it difficult to do 2 things at once when it's so busy back to back to back. That's what I'm saying. But I will make some content that I'll use on my channel, but I don't know specifically which I'll use, so I can't answer which one I'll use right now, because there's so many that I'm going to be attending that I'm not sure which ones I'll
You can go check our page out just so you get updated. It was very nice to
you as well.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So guys, we're going to end this video here. Thank you for chatting with us. We're going to see you guys in the next one. But before you leave, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check our page out also, just so you can see the kind of content she make and all of those things. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.